Milam and Green has really done a fantastic experiment, something that any whiskey enthusiast has probably wondered and dreamed and just thought, what would happen? What if? They took one of those what ifs and they put it in a bottle after they put it in 2 separate barrels in 2 separate states.
They provided the answer. We're going to ask the questions.
Let's do it on this episode of Savor the Burn. Let's go! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, theys and thems. Welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the barrels from me is Mr. Wizard Fingers, W2. How do you do?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. You got this not too long ago from Milam and Green, and we have a couple glasses to go with it. And
actually, I got it from our good buddy Dennis.
You got it from Dennis. That's right. And Dennis was out there spreading the burn. He was.
He had just come from Garrison Brothers, member of the old 300 club.
Yep.
Member number 166.
166.
He had just come from Garrison Brothers and decided to stop at Milam and Green because him and I have been having conversations back and forth about this box set, The Answer, and how cool it is, and everything that's about it or whatever. And so anyway, he wanted to stop in and see if they had any left because the website said quantities were limited.
Right.
And he showed up and they did not have any, but they knew that the liquor store just a block or two down the road had a case of them. And so he called down there and sure enough, they did.
Excellent.
They offered to hold a couple of for him while he stayed at the distillery and had a pour of each of them while he waited.
So he's already had it.
He has.
He has had the answer, so he knows. He knows what he knows, and hopefully he kept his mouth shut so we could figure it out for ourselves what's good and what's better. If you're watching on YouTube and Spotify, we thank you. Be sure to click the subscribe and the bell notification. Share it with all your fellow whiskey enthusiast friends, especially after you find out what the question to the answer was and is for many still. I mean, this was one experiment.
Yeah.
And I mean, just on this one experiment, it could have gone 100 different ways, but it went this way.
Before we get into what this is, let's set the stage a little bit. Who is Milam and Green?
Yeah, who is Milam and Green?
And we've had a couple different tastings via advent calendars.
Okay.
They showed up in last year's advent calendar, and they showed up in the advent calendar the year before. So,
wonder if it'll be with
not the same expression, but two different ones. And they've been on my radar for a while now. They're just not readily available up here in Kansas City. So getting a hold of one is you have to go online. So, but anyway, Milam and Green is a distillery in the heart of Texas. And it says here, Milam and Green Whiskey believes in using the best people and the ingredients to create delicious, award-winning whiskey for whiskey lovers. Named after its founder, Texas entrepreneur Marsha Milam, and CEO, master blender, and author Heather Green, Milam and Green Whiskey embodies the dedication and expertise of its remarkable team. And that's one of the things that really kind of caught my attention as we've dug into distilleries and whiskey and all this. This is one of those distilleries that was founded and owned by two women.
Nice.
And I think that's super cool. And I think it's awesome to have a distillery that, you know what, shake off the stereotypes and the good old boy syndrome and show the world how it's done.
It's unfortunate that some of that still exists. However, it's very fortunate to see that there are more women in this industry doing things.
Doing great things,
yeah.
Woodford Reserve.
I was just going to say, our
Elizabeth
friends
McCall.
At Woodford Reserve really have that on showcase.
And let's not forget Andrea Wilson, Master of Maturation right. At Michter's.
At Michter's, yeah. And you guys know...
The list goes on and on.
Yeah,
there's a handful of them out there that are worth noting. Milam and Green.
Yeah.
Milam and Green whiskey is made by some of the world's most experienced whiskey professionals, including Heather Green and 30-year whiskey veteran and master distiller Marlene Holmes. The distillery and its team have earned prestigious accolades, including the 2023 Rising Star Spirits Company of the Year at the Ascot Awards. Heather Green recognized as Master Blender of the Year, and Marlene Holmes named 2024 Master Distiller of the Year. That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah.
The Milam and Green team distills in Blanco, Texas, on copper pot stills, as well as in Kentucky on classic column stills, using its proprietary yeast recipe and mash bill. Aging takes place in casks with an assortment of char levels located in rickhouses spread across the states with varying climates and terroir, resulting in a variety of flavors that create the most thorough array of casks collected by any craft distiller. These casks become the ingredients for which its award-winning American whiskey range is batched to create perfection.
Texas, bottle pop. Nice.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I don't know how to get the correct pour out of these guys. I mean, with these, you can lay them down.
Sure.
When they touch the lip, they're good. So we'll just get us a pour.
So for this, the answer, and I've got a lot to read on this, but just to set the stage, these are classified as a bourbon. One of these was aged in Blanco, Texas. The other in Bardstown, Kentucky. Exact same distillant. And the mash bill for both of these is 70% corn, 22% malted rye, and 8% malted barley. Both of these were put in new virgin white oak barrels, char level 4.
Okay, 4. Okay.
These are both cask strength. Got a pop for us?
Yeah. This is Kentucky, obviously. There we go.
All right. 2 states, 1 bourbon, a 5-year flavor experiment. Experience the groundbreaking results of the first ever side-by-side bourbon aging study, Kentucky versus Texas. We took a single distillant, split it in 2, and aged it under identical conditions except for one, the climate. One half matured in the traditional rickhouse of Bardstown, Kentucky. The other braved the bold, wild climate of Blanco, Texas. Over 5 years, we tracked every detail from flavor evolution to proof to uncover how each environment truly shapes the spirit. Now, for the first time, you can taste the science behind the flavor. Same bourbon, different climates, remarkably different results. And I've got tasting notes for both of these.
Okay.
And I'm going to wait on that. But just to wrap this up for us so we can get into this, our Kentucky, which is in the Glen.
In the Glen, yes.
Is 54.15% ABV. That's 108.3 proof. And our Texas is 58.65 ABV, 117.3 proof. So in Texas, we gained right at 9 proof.
Yeah.
Same age, same everything. But
the location,
it climbed up a little
is
bit.
the only difference. Now, you said something about copper pot distilled and column distills?
They use both.
They use both.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
And
what's this?
So Dennis brought back the box set. Once again, thank you, Dennis, for everything you've been doing for us. We're so excited to get into this and do all the things. But while he was there, while he was sitting at the distillery, you know, he had the liquor store down the street was holding a couple while he enjoyed a pour of both. And he's like, I talked you guys up. I told him all about Savor the Burn. I told him, you know, one of these boxes was going to you guys so you could do a review and put it out there. And they printed off these placemats.
Okay.
For us, and this, I'll put a picture on here, but this is the
so
answer.
Everybody can see it.
You know, we've got a place for our Texas. I'm gonna go ahead and put that right there.
I'm gonna do that too.
And we've got our Kentucky, and we have our tasting notes and all the info right in front of us.
I'll give you the Kentucky bottle over here.
Perfect.
Put that over here. Get some.
But as a result of that interaction, we got these fine looking glasses from Milam and Green.
Yeah.
And I got a lot more stuff to get into, but I'm dying to start getting some noses on here.
Yeah, I mean, just by looking at it, just appearance, right off the top, Texas is a bit darker.
It's a bit
of a. They both look like honey, but the Texas looks like a little bit of a darker kind of honey. Okay.
All right. You are throwing me off though.
I'm sorry. Should I switch them?
Yes, because that's the way they're sitting in front of us. Texas, Kentucky.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
absolutely right.
And yes, the Texas is a little bit darker. Mm-hmm. That's a great nose. Mm-hmm. A lot of citrus, a lot of caramel and vanilla.
I was looking for the honey on here. I didn't pick up on much honey.
Brown sugar.
Let me get
brown sugar. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of almond too.
Kentucky. Brown sugar. And what else did you say? Citrus. There's citrus.
A lot of citrus. Lots and lots of
citrus. Like orange zest.
Yep. I think there's also a little bit of cherry. Like maybe like a black cherry. And I'm getting some of that oak.
Yes, oak. And this one here, though, the Kentucky.
Kentucky's a little bit softer.
It is softer.
It's more of a
caramel,
custardy.
Yeah.
Creme brulee. Still getting the burnt toasted brown sugar.
I'm getting honey off that one though.
I'd go honey on this one.
You said toasted something?
Brown sugar.
Toasted brown sugar?
Mm-hmm. Like a brulee.
Okay. Yeah. Custard. Vanilla, of course. How about baking spices on either one of them? Like anything in particular?
Baking spices across the board.
I'm thinking like a cardamom kind of thing happening over here with Texas.
Yeah,
but
maybe
I might
a little
be
bit.
wrong.
Maybe a little bit.
Because I know just like with leather and tobacco.
More nutmeg.
Sometimes some of the baking spices trip me up. So you said nutmeg for sure.
And I think cinnamon's a little bit more prominent on Kentucky.
Cool. I'm glad we got a... All right, so which one first on palate?
Let's do Texas.
All right, Texas. Milam and Green. We're going to try the Texas first. It's warm, it's coating. Oh. Okay.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. Got a good rye spice. Maybe just a hint.
What kind of rye?
Malted rye.
22%.
Maybe just a little bit of sourdough.
I think oak.
I'm getting a little bit of a cakey donut too.
Cakey donut.
That orange peel is screaming on the palate. Texas for 117.3 proof. That does not drink 117 proof.
It's nutty, like toasted. Oh, like around Christmas time, you'll get like that mixed can of nuts. If you take those and they're salted, you take them and you put them in your skillet or whatever and toast them just a little bit more to kind of wake up those oils. It's like mixed nuts, toasted.
Put candy oranges down too, because I feel like the citrus and the orange that's on there has kind of that candied kind of a
candied orange. All right. Well, I mean that's quite a bit of stuff: rice spice, sourdough, oak, cakey donut, orange peel, toasted mixed nuts, and candied orange. I mean, if there's anything else that's screaming at you on the palate on this one, I'll write it down.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm ready to move on to the
Bardstown, Kentucky.
Yeah, Bardstown, Kentucky barrel.
It's got some viscousy legs.
Yes, it does. I wonder if it's going to be as coating, because if you look at this, I mean, it's still stuck up here at the top of the glass. It's taking its time to kind of rivel it down.
Let's do this.
Yes.
Milam and Green.
I mean, they say that soft, air quote, whether it's that toasted nut, they say that soft is not a taste, but it's definitely part of the palate.
It's a feel.
Experience. It's a feel, And
I think that plays into the palate. It definitely plays into the experience, regardless of how you're acknowledging it. It is part of the experience. To me, it's part of the mouth feel, and that becomes part of the palate.
Hang on a second. What did you say the proof on this was?
This one's 108.3.
No way.
A hair of licorice on the palate.
Yeah. I think that licorice carries through into the finish, but I don't even have a column for the finishes yet.
A lot of vanilla custard. A lot of vanilla custard.
And oak. It's almost like a toasted oak thing, but it doesn't have these weren't toasted barrels. These were charred number 4.
Charred 4. Yep.
So I can't even call it. So I get what, oak char
I think there is a char.
or just oak?
I think there's definitely an oak char on Texas.
You think so? Okay.
On Kentucky,
I think it's there. It's expressing itself differently.
I think the
Like, not as
I think
prominent.
the licorice is working its way into that oak and char.
You think so?
These are both very, very good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Finish on Texas. Yeah, there's like you said, there's rice spice on there. Yeah, a touch of sourdough. There's that toasted nuts, like that just kind of a dumping a few of the mixed nuts into the hand and chomping them down. I'm gonna say finish on the Texas. There's oak and char. There's still the toasted nuts. Some of the sourdough is still there. Sweet citrus. And I even think that nutmeg carried through. Now finish on Kentucky.
I think the finish on Kentucky is a hair longer.
Peppery.
I think it lingers just a hair longer.
It's just so the vanilla and the licorice. Licorice definitely hangs out. All right, so for the Kentucky on the finish, I picked up. We picked up longer finish, peppery. The licorice is there. Licorice. Oak and char, and just kind of a sweet citrus. Just kind of rounds that out. And I haven't even gotten into my nose. Want to talk for a second about bottle presentation? I mean, we've got this really cool box.
It's a really cool box. I think the presentation is fantastic. I love the black wood. Mm-hmm. I love the bottles. It reminds me of the West Bottoms Whiskey Company 375s.
Yes,
just a little bit elongated.
It's like they're like if you've heard us talk about the West Bottoms Whiskey Company bottles, they're like a shouldered flask, like a tapered, slightly tapered, shouldered flask style bottle with a nice heavy bottom. Yep. I dig that.
And it's a package deal. They're not separate. They come together. They are in a box.
This is just like one series of questions, but I mean, if you're a whiskey enthusiast anywhere near us, we'll just leave it at that. If you're a whiskey enthusiast, you've had questions. Well, what is the difference between column still and pot still? Seriously, what's the difference? Well, the more you get into it, one versus the other, the more you get a feel for it and totally understand. What's the difference between what would happen with this one here specifically? What would happen if you had this mash? If you took a whiskey, a mash bill, distilled in-house, whatever, barreled, and then just stored in 2 separate states?
Yep.
What would happen? What could happen? Well, this is
off air.
This is what happened with this.
Yeah, off air
release.
Before we got started tonight, we talked about that a little bit, and one of the things that I love about this. Well, let's back up a little bit. The thing I love about whiskey and the reason why there are so many bottles and brands behind us is because ingredients, location, char, pot still, column still, even though you can really kind of distill, see what I did there? Distill this down to a very simplistic process and a very finite set of ingredients, variables, if you will. Each of those variables almost has an infinite possibilities.
Right.
The quality of the grains you get. Where did you source your grains? Corn from Iowa is going to be a very different corn than what you get in Texas. Yeah. So all those things, your cooperage, where is this oak sourced from? That plays a huge part of this equation. And so as a result of that, whiskey has the opportunity to have a lot of different variants, which then pushes whiskey in a lot of different directions. And so you end up with some that are very, very dessert-like. They're very, very caramel forward or chocolate forward. You've got some that are straight vanilla bean. You've got some that is a sourdough explosion. I mean, we've had some that really taste like a fresh baked loaf of sourdough bread.
Yes.
So all these different variations, and then not to mention your exact mash bill can also vary. So I think that really plays into why, as a practice, we try not to compare one whiskey or one distillery against another one, because there's so many factors that go into it that really, really influence the final product. This, however, takes a single distillant batch, and they divided it. When it came time to put it in the barrels, they divided it in half, and they put half of it in barrels and put it in their own rickhouse in Blanco, Texas, and the other half they put in the same barrels and shipped them off to Bardstown. It kind of allows you to just kind of push aside and level the playing field with making all those variant opportunities the same. And so the only variant we are left with this side-by-side is location and what did the weather do in those two locations. Texas could have had super mild or scorching hot, whereas, in Kentucky, they had some really, really cold winters, and they probably had some very, very humid and swamp-assy summers.
Because they're a lot like Kansas City.
A lot
just, like maybe 10 degrees warmer year-round.
So
maybe, I don't know.
That's why the answer, I think, is perfect, and I think this is a perfect storm of a side-by-side.
A perfect storm of a side-by-side. That's a good way to put it.
And even with that said, I really don't feel like, especially now that we've tried this and now we're kind of wrestling with our own minds as to how we're going to score these, or at least I know I am. To me, this actually ended up not being so much a Texas versus Kentucky side-by-side. It came down to a personal palate and profile. Do I like best?
Yeah.
So tasting notes. So first off, color of Kentucky, they listed as light amber honey.
Okay.
Whereas Texas, they listed as beautiful deep amber mahogany. I don't know if I'd go.
No.
I don't know if I'd go straight mahogany, but a beautiful deep amber, I can get on board with that. Nose for Kentucky. In the Glen, it has bright and fruity aromas with pear and apple notes, hints of green apple, and delicate floral tones.
I don't know if I picked up on floral.
I don't know if I got apple.
Well, actually, I can't smell it now because
Power of suggestion, I might say apple, but
this is a, I hate to say diluted pour because we put our water in there, but
Texas,
I'm not sure.
On the nose, the aromas are rounded with enhanced caramel and toasted oak and subtle fruitiness.
You said Texas?
That's Texas.
Okay.
I kind of agree with that.
Palate. Subtle fruitiness, yeah, because you said black cherry. Okay, palate.
Palate on Texas.
All right.
The flavors are richer and smoother with intense oak, caramel, and spice notes. Bold and rich, it is packed with caramel, toasted oak, and spice. I think we said a lot of that.
We said rice spice, sourdough, oak char, cakey donut, orange peel, toasted mixed nuts, and candied orange. All right, Kentucky palate.
On the palate. This bourbon has lively, Eastery sweetness with a spirited alcoholic kick.
Okay.
Bright and refined, full of floral fruit, honey, and gentle warmth. I agree with that. I think the Eastery sweetness, I commented on the candy aspect.
Oh, you did? Okay. So I didn't write down
there is a candied sweetness to me.
Because what's wild to me, we added our drops of water, and the Kentucky, it smells like opening a bag of Halloween candy to me. But I mean, Easter candy, Halloween candy.
Yep.
Not a whole lot of difference, but yeah.
So finish on
finish.
on Kentucky.
On Kentucky,
It has a spicy and malty finish.
well, I said peppery.
So Texas,
Maybe not so much malty.
a
But
clean sip with full body and a long, rich finish. I kind of agree with that.
I do agree with it, but I want more.
I think that's why I felt Kentucky had a little bit longer lingering finish, is because Texas it's a clean sip. It's rich and there's a lot of things going on in the finish, but it's not a quick taper, but when it's done, it's done. It packs its bag and it heads back south.
Adding a couple drops of water though lengthened that taper of the proof pinch on the tongue.
A little bit.
It added, I think, it's either tobacco or leather on the nose and on the palate, which was wild. How about Kentucky? Well, with Kentucky, with the water added to it, and there's the licorice. So the tobacco / leather that I get on the palate from the Texas shows up, or on the nose from the Texas shows up on the palate for the Kentucky. All other things considered, maybe a touch more oak. What's that there? Who do we have here in the picture?
I believe that is Heather Green and Marlene Holmes.
Okay.
Heather Green is the 2023 Master Blender of the Year.
Okay.
And then Marlene Holmes is their Master Distiller, which was voted 2024's Master Distiller of the Year.
Wow, how cool is that?
So
that is so cool. Wow, they've got some stuff here. Triple cask bourbon.
Oh, they
Very
have
small batch bourbon.
They have quite the offering. There's been a handful of times they've
port cask finish.
They have put some releases out, and I have almost pulled the trigger and ordered them because they are a distillery that we can order right from the distillery. We don't have to use a third party secondary market. We can get it right from them. But your Flaviers, your wooden corks, your
they'll be on there for sure.
They're everywhere. They're just not readily distributed to the local stores here in Kansas City.
Yeah, the very small batch bourbon finished with charred French oak staves. Come on, that sounds tasty. I'd love to go down there and see what the fuss is about. You know, see what they got.
Maybe
and get on their good side.
Maybe one of these days we kidnap Josh, the American Josh.
That'd be cool.
And head to Texas.
We can go hang out with Dennis.
I think his response would be, "Oh no!"
As long as we don't have the experience that he and one of his bands did, where they checked into the seedy hotel, and there were like pathways in between the walls and see-through bathroom mirrors and
man.
Yeah. Let's see here. So we've done this, that.
So what did you give this on the nose?
For Texas, I gave it a 4.25. I was wowed and a little then some. It struggled for me to experience the nose, palate, and finish on your typical Texas whiskey, your typical Texas bourbon. More sips from that bottle specifically versus the other bottle will really help me train my palate to discover what's the difference between the two as far as aging goes. But so I gave it a 4.25.
All right.
How about you? Where are you at?
I gave it a 3 3/4.
3 3/4.
Yep.
Okay.
I loved everything about it. There wasn't necessarily anything that just over the top wowed me.
Yeah.
But I loved everything about the nose. I thought the nose had a lot to offer. It was very reminiscent of a lot of my favorite bourbons.
Yeah. There was brown sugar, citrus, orange zest. Specifically, you picked up black cherry. And it's funny because I didn't say anything about it, but black cherry or any kind of cherry didn't show up anywhere else, even after we added water to it, which, we didn't talk about this. Quick point, adding water to these, I don't think did it any justice. So I think it took away some of the tasting notes that we had in there. But the experience didn't take anything away from the experience, I don't think. So I think they proofed it right. Even though it's 108.3, even though it's 117.3, I think they proved it right. So good job, ladies, on that one. So moving on to the Kentucky on the nose. Mm-hmm. There was some custard, some creme brulee, some honey, toasted brown sugar, vanilla, cinnamon. What did you give it on the nose?
I left it right at 3 3/4.
Okay.
I loved it for different
reasons,
but loved it equally the same.
Okay. See, respect. Hashtag respect. So, I totally agree, and I gave it the same score that I gave Texas, 4.25, for the same reasons. I was wowed and then some, and the why is just the laundry list of wonderful things on the nose. I just, I loved it for different reasons, but I loved it just the same.
Yeah.
So moving on to the palate. Texas. We had some rice spice, some sourdough, some oak char, a little bit of a cakey donut. He said there, I'm not pointing at him, calling him a cakey donut. Ladies, chill. But there were some toasted mixed nuts, I thought, and candied orange, which I wholeheartedly agree. Yep. After a few sips on there. Once again, I was wowed, and then some, so I gave it a 4.5.
Nice.
How about you? Where you at?
I came up to a 4.
Okay, on the Tejas.
On the Tejas.
All right. I could see that.
Blanco. Mm-hmm. Blanco.
4-point Blanco. That's refresh my memory. That's where that was aged, in Blanco, Texas?
Blanco, Texas.
Okay, cool. Palate on Kentucky. Mm-hmm. It was soft and smooth. Licorice showed up for sure. Some of that vanilla custard worked its way in there. Oak char showed up. Caramel, candied orange, which was fun, and just plain candy. Just like eating a bag of Easter candy. Like I think the note said something about Easter candy. But yeah, me, I'm always stuck in Halloween. So from July 5th to July 3rd, it's Halloween. It's spooky season.
I mean, come on.
So I kept mine locked in over there in Kentucky Town at a 4.5.
Spoiler alert, this was my deciding factor between these two.
Okay.
I came up 4 1/4.
4 1/4?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so I loved them just the same on nose and palate.
Excellent.
W2 here loved, seems like he really liked and or loved Texas, but he liked and or loved the Kentucky just a little bit more.
Kentucky just brought a creaminess.
It did have a creaminess.
That and maybe it's because I've become quite fond of the wheated bourbons that we've gotten into.
Oh.
And I love the custardy creaminess that those bring. This doesn't have wheat in it.
It doesn't have any wheat.
But there is a creaminess that Kentucky's bringing to the table on this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point. Wild. Finish. Mm-hmm. Finish for Texas. There was some oak and char, some toasted nuts, sourdough, some sweet citrus. On Texas, I kept it locked in at 4.5.
All right.
4.5. How about you?
I gave both of these the same score.
Okay.
And so I locked them both in at an even 4.
4 even. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, again, I'm trying to be just more discerning and gut checking every aspect along the way.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that. But I also kept mine locked in with the same number that I gave on Texas over here on Kentucky at 4.5. There was a bit of a longer finish. It was peppery, like right off the top. You notice the pepperiness to it. Mm-hmm. Licorice showed up, the oak and char, and some of that sweet citrus. I just thought this is a wonderful bourbon. What a great drinking experience that one in particular was. And like you said, you love them both, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here? We're talking about our rating system. Our numbers here, we rate them in 4 categories: nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation, which we're about to get into. Add those numbers up out of a possible 20, divide that by 2, and we get our 0 to 10.
Do we need a gargle category?
I only gargle whiskey to freak people out. It's just fun.
That does bring a little bit extra burn to.
Little extra burn. I think all the extra air added to it, body temperature, air, lung temperature, air, really helps highlight the oakiness that you can find in some of these things.
That's true.
I find that especially true with Jim Beam.
There it is.
Somebody had to say it.
Bottle presentation.
Bottle presentation for me, it was easily a 5. You had this cool, neck wrap that I took off completely over here.
That's all right.
And actually, you could pop this guy off. But you can see the dark, kind of mahogany hardwood topper, composite cork. We already talked about the slightly tapered shouldered flask style bottle that we've come to love from West Bottoms Whiskey Company. And I like the whole dang thing. It's got a cool little stamp on the top.
Yep.
Is that one of their...
Maybe.
One of their... I don't see it on here. It's still cool looking.
It is cool.
Whatever it is. It's like a star with some
Yeah.
leaves and flowers and stuff on it. Anyway, so it's a beautiful presentation. I really like it. A lot of what you read off their website, you will find also here on the back. And
Nice.
one thing that you didn't bring up, if you scan this QR code, you can tell them what it is that you think about
nice.
each one of these. So
We might have to do that.
Yeah, you bet your sweet biscuits.
Savor the burn.
But Savor the Burn's going to hop in there and let them know. And I'm sure you can go to, Milam and Green whiskey.com and just kind of go from there if you don't have the QR code and you have had it and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot to, write down or tell anybody what I thought of these things. So yeah, for me, it was a 5. Really, it's a shared 5 because
It is. Absolutely.
even though it's 2 different bottles, they came in this. It's a side by side, whatever. So it's a 5 for both. How about you?
I should have and could have very easily given it a 5. Mm-hmm. I gave it 4 3/4.
4 3/4 is not bad,
And I don't have a reason as to why, but
it didn't hit you like a 5.
and I don't know why because
all right.
I love everything about it.
Yeah.
I think it's hella cool. Spearmint
After
late
water, no, you got a fresh pour.
that was a fresh pour.
Of Kentucky spearmint, late
palate into the finish. That was nice. Like it hit me like a wintergreen or spearmint gum. Mm-hmm. Kind of gives you on the palate.
Yes. All that said, I already gave you the rundown on how we do our scores. Now we come to our final numbers, and for me, since both categories lined up all the same numbers, I ended up with the same number on both.
Oh man!
Both ones.
All right,
but
give it to me.
I came to them with different.
Sure.
I mean, it's
valid.
I love them both for different reasons.
Give me both of them. What you got?
9.125, 9 1/8.
Damn.
Yeah, I was very happy with this. Very surprised. Very stoked. How about you? Where are you at?
All right. Texas.
8
1/4.
8.25.
And Kentucky?
Yes.
Kentucky squeaked in the lead with 8.375. 8 3/8. An eighth point different.
We are not really too
We're not that far off. Yeah.
It's maybe on Texas, but who cares? Those are your numbers. These are my numbers.
These were awesome.
You guys are going to have your own numbers if you get into this and you check it out. Do you have any final thoughts on these things? I mean, we talked about what a great idea it was to provide the answer to one of many a whiskey enthusiast question.
Yeah.
I just wonder, do you have any final thoughts on this?
I think this was a great answer to all the questions we have, but is it the answer? No, I think it's opening the door to more questions.
Oh,
That's
science, baby.
And back to one of the comments I made earlier, I really feel like as we've kind of deep dived into this and kind of really kind of unpacked what this is about, I really feel like at the end of the day, this is not a comparison of Texas versus Kentucky.
No,
this is a question of which region produces a palate that best aligns with your palate. For some, the answer is going to be Texas. Others, the answer is going to be Kentucky. My answer was Kentucky. And to me, I think the deciding factor between the two really was Kentucky just brought a little bit of an extra softer creaminess.
An unexpected softer creaminess. Something that you would find indicative of a wheated bourbon of some kind. But it showed up here, and there's no wheat in this thing. No wheat.
These were both fantastic for different reasons.
For different reasons. Yeah. 100% agree with that. So if you want to know anything else about what Milam and Green has to offer, even this side-by-side specific offering, you can go to milamandgreenwhiskey.com and check it out. Check out everything that they have to offer. And check out our website, savortheburn.com, where you will find this and many, many other bottles in our liquor cabinet.
Yes, sir.
So no matter who you are and where you are and what you're side-by-siding and who you're side-by-siding it with, never forget,
Keep on burning.